You are in the meeting, and everyone is speaking as though they were issued a manual you never received. They have the vocabulary, they have the certainty, and you are nodding along, contributing at roughly the right moments, while a quiet voice underneath keeps up its running commentary. You do not belong in this room, and one day somebody is going to notice. It is a particular kind of dread. Not the fear of failing exactly, the fear of being found out, the tap on the shoulder, the quiet conversation, the discovery that you have been getting away with something. And here is what is strange about that dread. Once you look at it directly, it does not arrive as a question. It arrives as a verdict already reached, with no evidence attached and no appeal scheduled. The Stoics had a precise name for what just happened to you. They called it an impression, a thought that arrives unbidden, already dressed as the truth. Epictetus trained his students to meet it at the door and say, before anything else, "Wait, you are an appearance, and not at all the thing you appear to be, because between the arrival of a thought and your agreement with it, there is a gap. It is small, but it is real, and inside it you are free. The impression says fraud. You are not obliged to sign it. So examine the paperwork. What is the evidence for the charge? Not the feeling, the evidence. And you will find that the imposter feeling never brings any. It never says, on Tuesday, you were asked to do this specific thing, and you could not do it. It says only that they are all better than you, and that you are about to be discovered. It is a sentence passed in an empty courtroom by a judge who never calls a single witness. Notice too what it can never explain. How you got here. Someone read your work. Someone sat across from you and asked questions. Someone decided. The feeling would have you believe that an entire chain of competent people was fooled, and that you alone are clear-eyed enough to see the truth about yourself. It flatters you in its way, at the same time as it tears you down. There is a man in the history of this philosophy whom almost nobody talks about, and he is the one you need tonight. His name was Cleanthes. He came to Athens with almost nothing, a former boxer from a small town, and he wanted to study with Zeno, who had founded the Stoic school. He could not afford to, so he carried water at night, hauling it to the gardens in the dark, and ground flour for a woman who paid him a little, and went to the lectures by day on no sleep. His fellow students had a name for him. They called him the ass. He was slow. He labored over ideas that the quick ones caught in a single sentence. He was, by the estimate of the room, the least likely person in it. He kept the nickname. He said that if he was the ass, then he was the only one there strong enough to carry Zeno's load. At one point, the authorities in Athens hauled him in to explain how a man with no visible income was managing to live. He brought his witnesses, the gardener he carried water for, the woman whose flour he ground. That was his defense. That was his life. And when Zeno died, it was Cleanthes who succeeded him and who led the Stoic school for the rest of his own life. The brilliant ones did not. He did. He held the doctrines together long enough for the next generation to build on them. And one of the sharpest minds in all of Greek philosophy came to him to learn them. So the room was wrong about Cleanthes. He was also, by his own honest admission, slow. Both of those things were true at the same time, and only one of them turned out to matter. Here is the second thing the imposter feeling quietly relies on. A standard you have never once examined. You believe there is a category of real ones, people who feel qualified, who are not improvising, who go home at the end of the day certain. Seneca was the most famous philosopher in Rome, advisor to an emperor, and he spent his letters insisting that he was not a wise man. He placed himself among the patients rather than the physicians. He said plainly that he was pointing at a cure he had not finished taking himself. The man whose words you would quote back at yourself did not believe he had arrived. So who exactly are you failing to be? The bar you are measuring yourself against is not the bar the Stoics used. It is one you invented and then handed to strangers to hold. Because Stoicism does not actually contain the category you have been torturing yourself with. It has no box-marked genuine and no box-marked fraud. It has one word instead, Procopton, the one who is making progress. Everybody in that school was one. Nobody graduated. The entire system was built for people who are not finished, which is to say it was built for everybody who has ever lived. And that quietly changes the question waiting at your desk tomorrow. Not, am I one of the real ones? That question has no answer, has never had one, and will take as many years as you are willing to give it. But instead, did I do this piece of work as well as I could today? And do I understand something now that I did not understand last week? That question has an answer every single day, and unlike the other one, answering it makes you better. So when the voice starts up in the meeting, do 3 things. Name it. That is an impression, not a report. Ask it for its evidence. It will not have any. Then turn back and do the next piece of work in front of you, carefully, the way a man carrying water in the dark does the next trip. The tap on the shoulder is not coming. There is no committee, no list, no one holding a file with your name on it. There is only the work and the person doing it, who is allowed to be frightened and unfinished and in the room anyway. Cleanthes was the ass. He also ran the school.